All right, buddy. I know we should call you Ally, okay, or Ellie, or how should we
Ellie,
address you? That
Ellie, yeah.
okay, Ellie, not Ally. Ally will be the book of, well, that is the still the book of part of the Bible, isn't it? The book of
Yeah,
Ally, the book of Ellie. Okay,
guess
Ellie.
so.
All right, all right. So I think first of all, we want to make this announcement. Okay, uh, welcome to the core development group. This is the first time.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is the first time in our entire life we promoted somebody. Okay, when I say first time in the entire life, this goes through a very long history. When I say very long history, this includes the time when we I'm with VNSEC. I'm still with VNSEC, Vietnam Security Group, and we started Capstone. We started a Unicorn Engine. We started Keystone Engine. Okay, and then of course now a Qiling framework. Okay, each of us, of course, these three, the first three project, Capstone, Keystone, and Unicorn Engine is led by Quinn, Dr. Quinn. He's in Singapore right now, and of course, I'm the founder and I'm the guy that started a Qiling framework. All right, and we work together very closely for 20 years maybe. This is the first time.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the first time we promote somebody which we never met before. And I guess this is a rather tough decision from our side. I mean, we propose and we discuss internally. Yes, the thing is, I think for open source project, we do need to worry about the entire reputation, or is there any chances, people that we never meet before, could it be a chance, this guy put in some dirty codes and all these things. So
yeah.
yes, we had a discussion, and then by looking at your contribution, we do really think that it's a pleasure for us to invite you into the group. And again, welcome to the core
Thank
development
you.
team. Yep, your name is up there already, if in the dev branch.
Great.
Yeah, once we finish the MCU PR merging, then we will call for release. Then all the codes will merge into the main branch. Okay, so after the welcome, after the announcement, after the welcome note, please tell us a little bit about yourself. You can talk about previous work and our common friend, that we know way back when you're in Intel. So tell us a little bit more about
Um,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, well, first, thank you for having me. I guess that would be a tough decision, to let something or to let someone in that you haven't met before, at least in person. Yeah. So thanks for that. Thanks for the honor. I really respect that. Anyway, I'm Eli. I'm I live in Israel. I'm 38 years old. Um, I don't know if anybody else is that old on that project, or I'm the oldest one.
I'm 1981, so I'm 2 years older than you.
Okay,
And it's
so
not.
I'm in a
And Queen, I
I'm in a
think.
good place.
Yeah, you're in a good place. Queen is the oldest. Dr. Queen is the oldest. The one that founded Unicorn Engine.
Yeah,
He's old.
yeah.
He's picky on code. He bitch about all the spacing, all the tab, or whatever thing that he
I
can bitch.
can
He'll
I
bitch
I
about
can
it.
I can be that too. Yeah,
I
I can
know,
I
I
can I
know.
can understand that. I can understand that. Anyway, I've been in the firmware and hardware security for quite some time, for more than 10 or 11 years now.
Mhm.
Um, worked I worked some time for Intel, a few
Okay.
years, Now I'm working for Microsoft, even though there is no relation between Microsoft and this project whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I do that in my free time. That's something I enjoy doing. And since I work in my current role, I work a lot with UEFI and improving security of UEFI. Then that's how I met Qiling. I came across that I think around January this year.
Yeah, pretty much,
I
yes.
think when there was a big announcement of um, the EFI first project
Mm-hmm.
that other guys were doing, and they announced, hey, we can emulate UEFI code, we can fuzz it. Here's how we do that. That was very interesting. Then I took a look. I wanted to know how it works because I know that firmware emulation is kind of hard, and that's a really big thing. If you can test or you can trace or you can emulate firmware, uh, that should be something really cool. I just wanted to take a look. Um, when I was back in Intel, we had some nice toys that we could use, to debug the hardware. We could do just, uh, single stepping through firmware. And now I don't have those toys anymore. So emulating firmware or emulating UEFI is something that I really need. So I started looking at the code. I wanted to understand how it does what it does, and you know, just so hey, that piece of code. I can write it in a different way. I can adjust this part to my need. I can do that, and I can do this. And before I knew it, uh, I just made a tons of modifications. At start, I didn't really think about contributing. I thought, oh well, I just have my own project because nobody really cares about that specific little niche of emulating UEFI. But then I realized that I could I could con- I could contribute those changes and make a difference to the project. So that's how I got into the project. Since then, I was looking around, wanted to better understand how it works, and I started improving several parts. And this is very interesting because it lets you understand how things work on Linux, on Windows, some other stuff um, that you don't usually work with or not at that level. So when you dig into that code, you better understand how they work, and that's really interesting.
Uh, well, the second question that we have on the list supposed to be how do you discover Qiling framework? And I think you more
I
or less.
think we checked that.
Yeah, you check that, and then what makes you want to contribute to a Qiling framework? It's I don't know. Is that the code is so fucked up that you think you should contribute, or you think it's a good project that worth your time to contribute, or no, what do you what makes you what is your motivation behind the whole contributing? I have been in an open source project for long enough. I don't really involve in a capstone keystone unicorn time. We as a team member, Queen is the one that did most of the job, and then we use it, and then we give comments. We rely on him to change the code and all these things. And we do know that open source, either running an open source project or getting involved in an open source project, it's a time consuming, and it doesn't help you to make
Yeah.
more money. In fact, you burn more money by doing all the funny things. So what makes you want to contribute? And it's a it's a it's a miracle. You hold it for and you hold your passion to help in the chat room, in the issues, in the PR for such a long time, like what we mentioned just now, from January until now. I mean, people do come and go and join back, and not really that active. You are one of the guys that really active in the group. So what makes you have what makes you have this passion to keep on helping the Qiling community and the code base?
So I think that's a mix of a few reasons. I guess the first is that I think this project has a lot of potential. So I think the project is really cool. It can do very interesting stuff. It can be leveraged to do very cool research, and part of it was, you know, to help others to get into that, because I remember when I got into that, I just looked around the code, I looked around the documentation, and I said, what the hell is going on? I mean, I can't understand a thing here. I can't understand where to start. I don't know how to start. So, um, so I think there are two kinds of people. One kind goes to the documentation, start reading documentation, and tries to understand how it works through documentation. The other is, just dives into the code and tries to understand it through the code. And I'm kind uh, of the second type. And when I saw the code, I said, "Oh my God, what's going on?" It looks like several projects that were stitched together into some big project, some umbrella project, but they don't cooperate with each other. They like separate things. Um, and I tried, to refactor some parts and make things, more consistent with each other, and add comments, and the typing annotations, and all of these changes should help people to, to get started. And so like I said, I think the main motivation is because I think the project is very cool and it has a lot of potential, and help others to to get involved, to get started with it. There is a lot more. There is a lot more work to do. Obviously, um, a lot of work to do in code and documentation, and welcome the others. To get them started. Another reason for that is that I really like coding, and I don't do that much in my work. So my work is mostly about consulting and advising about secure design and so on. It's less about actual coding. So that's my hobby after work hours.
Is this part of your hobby too?
um, yeah, that looks cool. I don't have a room full of gadgets behind me, so I can't show anything really you know really cool. Let me do that, and this, yeah, I think that should be better now.
What time is it over there in Israel?
That's 4:30
Okay.
p.m. Actually, I'm in the office right now.
Oh,
We work Sundays.
Okay.
Sunday
Oh
is
yeah.
is
Right,
a
right,
work
right.
day in Israel. We work Sunday through Thursday.
Yeah, because Friday you guys got what do you call that? Sabbath or something?
Yeah, Friday and Saturday
Yeah,
are the
yeah,
weekend
yeah,
here. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. That
Um,
Israel is one of the places that I wanted to visit, but I am a Malaysian and I'm holding a Malaysian passport. And
so
Malaysia,
I don't know. I'm not familiar with those. I mean, with that kind of thing. So is it prohibited? You
yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's specifically mentioned in the passport. This Malaysian my passport, Malaysian passport, is not valid for Israel.
Oh, is it coming from the Israeli side of the
No, no, no. It's
story
coming from the
or the
Malaysian
Malaysian
side.
side?
It's coming from the Malaysian side. Let me show you. If I'm gonna show you this passport, would they ban me
Okay.
from going back to Malaysia?
Oh, okay. So you'll have to give up your entire life
Yeah, I think I
if you
need
want
to.
to come visit.
I don't know. I'm quite sure they wrote it. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Can you see that? No, you can't really. But
I don't know, kind of blurry.
yeah,
Yeah.
what it says this passport is valid for all countries except Israel.
Oh, they explicitly say
Yes,
Israel?
yes,
That's the only exception? Wow.
yes. That's only exception. That's so. I mean, I cannot say mess up.
Wow.
It's the country I born. I still want to go back. Of course, I'm having fun in
Yeah.
China, but I cannot say Malaysia is bad. So
Wow. Okay.
all right. What else? You were mentioning about yeah. That is the thing. The job pay for the bill and the hobby is a totally different thing. So for Asian parents, there's a very famous saying. Asian parents always tell their kids, you you gonna work in the place that you don't like at all, but you're gonna use the money to do something that you like.
Well,
Oh,
many people
that is
believe
Asian
like
parents.
that.
That is Asian parents. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So what else? I think this is one of the questions that I always love to ask the contributor. Well, any specific use case that you discover from your day job or from your hobby, any specific use case that you really impressed with cheating.
Um, well, I use it in a side project of mine.
Okay.
Like I said, in emulating a UEFI code or specifically SMM code, which is kind of hard to emulate and and trace. You can always reverse engineer it, right? But
Mm-hmm. Yep.
when you get the live debugging or all the feedback and you see where it jumps and what are the registers values and the memory and the memory content, that's much easier. So that helped me understand a few things that I'm working on at work. But actually, I'm still working on um, a solid and robust framework for doing the fuzzing work that I'm looking into.
Okay.
Um, so I kind of took things and I was inspired by the EFI Fuzz project,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool. And the guys there did a very great job. Um, but I need something a little bit different. So I work on different aspects of that.
But do you ever meet up with the Sentinel One guy before? I mean, one of those guys. One of the guys is in
Um,
Israel, I think.
both of them are Israeli. I don't know if they live in Israel at the moment
One of them
or in
live
the
in Israel.
US.
One of them in US and one of them in Israel. I think it's in Jerusalem. That dude is in Israel. I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure he's in Israel, but I'm not sure whether which city is he in.
Oh, okay. Well, Israel is not that large, you know, not
Not
that
like
large
China.
country. So that should be a problem to me. But no, we haven't met. We, we met virtually to discuss, changes
Okay.
in the UFI subsystem in Qiling, but we haven't met like in person. Anyway, the security scene in Israel is not that large, so um, you keep hearing the same names over and over again. Um, yeah, I guess we will meet eventually.
Well, I
I
mean,
guess.
the security scene in this world is not that large either. You know, if you go into different conference, eventually you will bump into same guy. You know, like what we
the sa-
yeah
the
what
same
we
people.
yeah
Yeah.
what we discussed just now. You know, we even got common friends,
Yeah.
and that dude is in Brazil. You are in Israel. I'm a Malaysian stuck in China, and then that dude is in Brazil, and we do have a common friends. Come on.
Yeah, that's a small world
It,
after all, yeah.
it is a small world. It is a small world. Uh, uh, to answer your question just now, why chilling? It's not really your question. It's your comment. But I guess it's I've been talking about this thing a couple of times during the conference, during the earlier days conference, especially in St. Petersburg, Zero Nights, when we first announced Qiling in 2019 November. And then I guess it's pretty much a good thing for me to recap the small little history for Qiling. We, if you look at the earlier version of the code, which is not available anywhere right now, we started with one, two, three, four, five guys. We started with five guys, and then I have this idea. I said we need to have this framework running. Uh, we do have a lot of good emulation platform for x86. We have a lot of instrumentation tools for x86, and I told them, when it comes to IoT, when it comes to ARM based system, ARM64 MIP system, this entire space is fucked up. We don't have a really good tools. I mean, we do have some GDB here and there, and then we don't have good instrumentation tools for all these platforms. So I think we should build something. So we started with, of course, we're going to start with a Unicorn engine based on whatever relationship that I have with Dr. Quinn. So we built with a Unicorn engine, and each of us will take one OS. So one of them took Linux, one of them took Mac OS, Android. We have Windows. So what we did is we wrote a we wrote a hello world to compile in Windows. We wrote a hello world to compile in Mac. We wrote a hello world to compile in Linux. Of course, in Linux we have this dynamic link library, and then we have this static library. Then we wrote for all the targeted OS that we want and the targeted processor that we want. And each of us code differently. One single Python code that import unicorns and try to run that hello world binary. So that is our goal. So when everybody got their code running and we try to merge together, so that is where you can see all the funny codes here and there and all these things. And it's even worse. I think we got our first round of we released in 2019 November. That time the code is still very messy. And then when the COVID started, eventually we got time to build some documentations. I think around April 2020, we start our first round of refactoring. The code get a bit more cleaner. And then I think around when Lazy Mio joined, that is around July, August last year, he did another round of refactoring. And you are the third round of refactoring. So eventually we're gonna get better and better and better. So keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, at first I thought, hmm, this project named Qiling, I guess the Q stands for quick and dirty
Oh,
because it looked like, a bunch of code that was stitched together and wasn't for wasn't very consistent, um, among all its parts. So one parts could implement something in one way and expose some API to it, and another OS would do it really differently and expose a different API for that. There is no consistent way to understand and work with it. Um, so I thought that that would really essential if we want to welcome other people, you
mhm.
know, and to encourage them to use and really rely on that tool. Then we have to do a better job with with the code and the documentation. Yeah.
Well, I think the documentation is one of the thing that it's gonna kill us somehow, somewhere. We are still we update more or less here and there for the documentations, and the documentation is more, it's much more bigger mess compared to the code right now. So yeah, let's see. We will figure that out sooner or later. We'll figure that out sooner or later. Uh, okay. The last question is supposed to be the comments and the future improvement for the Qiling team. And since you are now part of the Qiling team, so yeah, we talks about the future improvement, for the documentation, for the code and all these things, uh well, we're gonna work closer. We're gonna work more closely on the new roadmap, and all these things. Hopefully, we will cover a more latest version of Mac OS, iOS and all these things that is always in the roadmap that we never cover. And Apple changed their kernel, the way how they load library and all these things are every day. So I'm not too sure whether is that a smart decision for us to maintain Apple, or is that a better way to do all these things. But well, again, welcome to the team. Hopefully, we will do something great
Thanks.
together. Towards this year, next year, and then until maybe 14 years later when these COVID cases stop. I don't know. I'm not too sure when are they gonna stop, man.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for having me. That's really that's really cool. Really appreciate the trust. And let's hope we could keep collaborate on this and keep that project. Keep it. Keep improving it and making better.
Sure. All right, buddy. Thanks for your time. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
See you.
Okay. See you.
Bye.
Bye.